Ayo, back at it again with another video. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. So, I have been trying to keep up with the war going on between Israel and Hamas, and there's been outbreaks of violence and conflict between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon. Um, and I came across an article late last year um, from The Guardian. Israel is losing the war against Hamas, but Netanyahu won't admit it. And to be completely honest, I feel like this is pretty accurate because right now, the war isn't going according to plan because the official narrative has been that Hamas is weakened, but in reality, this doctrine of massive force is just failing. And it's right because, if you look at the situation on the ground, Israel at the moment was, since October 7th, has gone into the Gaza Strip. And their main overarching objective was we're going to eliminate Hamas. That was their goal. Hasn't worked. Hamas is still there. The, what is it else? The PIJ and the PFLP, Popular Front Liberation of Palestine. Israel, just within the past week or so, withdrew multiple brigades from northern Gaza. There's been, heavy fighting in northern Gaza, Jabalia, whatnot. There's been, different outbreaks in the West Bank. So there's basically Israel at the moment is fighting a three-front war. And it's losing because right now, literally no one is in Kiryat Shimona. Most of this area up in here has been completely evacuated. So there's been conflict on the northern border with Hezbollah, and Hezbollah has beaten Israel before. They've kicked Israel out of Lebanon 2006. Like, Israel's track record against Hezbollah is not great. Israel went into, brute force into the Gaza Strip saying, oh, we're going to defeat Hamas and eliminate them. That hasn't worked. And now the Houthis in Yemen are now, blocking shipping from the Indian Ocean through the Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, the Bab el Mandab Strait right here. The Houthis are, right in here. And if, Israeli shipping can't get through the Red Sea and get to the port of, I think it's Eilat, I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, Israel's getting surrounded on just all different fronts. The Houthis, there's been conflict in Lebanon. There's been, resistance groups against Israel and the United States launching attacks against U.S. personnel in Syria and Iraq. Biden just started bombing the Houthis, and he has basically just came out the other day and said, yeah, it's not working, but we're going to continue to do it. Israel's losing the war, but the mainstream media won't portray that because that goes against their narrative. And this was published December 21st. Current date of recording, January 20th. Literally almost a month later, and nothing has changed. Israel is still losing the war. They're losing. They went into Gaza, killed 20,000 Palestinian civilians for the, for what purpose? I don't know. Because, now there's 20,000 less Palestinians, and, Hamas is still there. Israel did not eliminate Hamas. They failed their objective. And now, they're in a broader conflict, not only in Gaza, but also in Lebanon, and also the Houthis giving trouble in the Red Sea. And yeah, this elite Golani brigade, from what I've heard, they've gotten absolutely just decimated. And here's the thing. Israel went in to Gaza. They first started with bombing Gaza Strip into oblivion. And, that's what they decided that they were going to do. But then they left it in rubble, and rubble benefits the defender. If we look at, World War II, Monte Cassino in Italy, the Italian campaign in Italy, the Germans were outnumbered like 2 or 3 to 1. But the Allies decided that they were going to bomb Monte Cassino into oblivion, and the outnumbered Germans held out in Monte Cassino for months, and they were outnumbered. It's the same thing in Gaza. They bombed it into oblivion, they reduced it to rubble, and they gave so many different hiding spaces for Hamas to hide in, to duck and juke and weave in and out of. I mean, Israel's losing the war. They got decimated in Gaza Strip, and now there's some serious fighting and conflict going on up here in the north. And Israel, in my opinion, is losing. They're not doing too great. They're not doing great at all. But right now, Netanyahu's fighting for his political life, and he's just going to keep going. He's just going to keep going. But it's not going to turn out well for anybody, because the more conflict we have, the more destructive it will become. And it's already gotten massively destructive. But Israel's losing. You might not like it. You might like it. I don't know. Depends on your side. But from my perspective, it's not looking good. You have potential for a 3-front war. Serious conflict in Lebanon. Conflict already in Gaza Strip. And, if another intifada breaks out in the West Bank, then that's a 3-front war right there. And that's not even mentioning, the Houthis and the Yemen and the Red Sea. That's not even mentioning Iran. That's not even, mentioning other groups in Syria and Iraq. But, they're losing, and Netanyahu's going to keep going until there's nothing left to do other than just keep fighting. But, yeah, Israel's losing. The media won't portray that, but that's how I see it at the moment. So, with that being said, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Deuces.